So after a long night in Nashville, we woke up mostly hungover, but didn't have much to do, and I had been harassing this guy on Facebook Marketplace for like 3 weeks. He had this 77 Dodge Aspen that was kind of like mine, but I think it was a Super Pack RT, and it had louvers, a wing, and an RT grill, which are all super hard to find. The RT grill is the hardest. It wasn't in the nicest shape, but I figured I could make it work. And so I kept harassing him about it, and then finally I said, hey, you know, I'm 45 minutes away from you, and I got 5 hours of free time today. Can I come wave some money in your face? And he obliged me. So me and my brother Tyler here, we head out to Springfield, Tennessee, and we went and tore a car apart.
How's it going? Not bad.
Now your car can get some 391 posi.
Yes.
Yeah. No more one-legger.
Yeah, the nicest part about all this is that when I go back to do more burnouts on Broadway, it'll be better. It was an absolute score when we found a real posi kit. The brand new, honestly, I mean, you know, 20 years old, but there was still paint on it. And all the clutches look great inside of it. I got it sitting in a cardboard box in the back of the car. All of it looked great. There's 390 gears to go along with the set. I've got 308s in it now, so that should wake the car up like crazy. $800 online to buy a brand new posi kit, and I bought everything for $750. My absolute favorite score out of all of it, even with the window louvers, the wing, I found a gold Moroso air cleaner, which they don't make any sort of gold anodized products from Moroso anymore, and it's all super hard to find. There's a really cool page on Facebook called Vintage Moroso Gold Entrepreneurs or something like that, where all they do is collect that stuff, and I'm super jealous. Anyone who might be watching this who might have a set of gold Morosos for a 318, hit me up. I'll send you money. All right, they're extremely hard to find. I found 2 pairs. One of them's in Michigan, and I don't want to drive there, and he won't ship.
Doing it tonight. We'll do that in the morning.
Nah, just head back to the hotel tonight.
Yep. Maybe go hang out with the buddies again, Nashville
Yeah,
or
see
wherever
them a
they
while
want to go.
longer before they go.
Yep.
Because you never know what's going to end up.
That's the truth.
That's what I tell my kids, and you know, they're like, why do you got this? Why you got this? Because we may need it, that's why.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
Be careful.
Thank you. No, what I was gonna say while you were backing up is, Tucker, would you appreciate if I did this and looked out the mirror for you? Put my head in front of the mirror.
Aubrey does that all the time.
All women do.
All right. Hold on to something, bro. We gotta get her real hard on the legs. Phone might go flying. Is he smiling?
It left him, yeah, and he left a mark.
Good.
He likes it.
Nice.
Oh, that smell is amazing. 520.
Not bad. For doing all that work.
I know, snow's a-coming. Oh. We're about to go down a gravel path that we don't want to go down.
I don't think they have any pigs for me or any trucking on Tuesday, which I'm so thankful for.
That's amazing because it's going to be a fucking blizzard.
I know.
This thing sounds so cool. Dude, and the purple hornies just give it just the right tone.
Yeah, they really do. It's perfect. You should have heard it long tubes with no mufflers. It was so loud. It was as loud as it was outside the car, inside the car, and it was double as loud outside the car.
Do you remember what my brown truck sounded like before I put glass packs on it? It was lifted
brown
right.
truck.
My brown ones on?
What? No way I'm doing that.
Oh.
Huh?
I said, no, go this way.
Yeah.
There is currently nobody coming. Still nobody.
Still nobody? Nobody? Nobody?
Yep, nobody. Fucking Dixie flags, oh boy.
Yeah.
So my brown truck, you know, stock 460, but when I got it, it had pipes that come down from the manifold, and they're supposed to come together and have a muffler, and they go back into duals. Well, someone cut it right before where the muffler is, and then that was it. I drove it like that for a while. Then I decided to put exhaust on it. Decided to put exhaust on it, and I put from that spot to back behind the back axle, I did 3-inch exhaust.
Yeah.
Dual 3-inch exhaust, and it made it so much louder. And then so I cut the 3-inch exhaust down, and I shoved a glass pack in between the 3-inch, and it was a lot better. Yeah, that's why I said, well, just take the caddy to Nashville or wherever we're going. If you guys want to go somewhere that's not Nashville, I don't care. We already went to the one place in Nashville I wanted to go.
What's that?
Cooters. I wanted to go to Cooters, and I knew that we would go and see Broadway, because you have to go see Broadway.
You gotta see Broadway.
Yeah, so I knew we'd go see Broadway. Other than that, I just wanted to go to Cooters. I'm happy. Other than that, I'm just happy hanging out with homies, driving badass muscle cars.
It's fun. It's so much fun. This is cool. This is a good looking town.
Be a red light. Washout. Actually, I'm not that bad for being covered in gear oil to begin with.
I know that I'm not filthy in a gear oil way, but filthy in a, like, I drug myself through rat shit kind of way.
Fair. But no, like, because my hands were covered in gear oil because I took that gear set apart, and I have not wiped them off on anything, and they're not that bad.
we got done parting the car out, shook hands with the guy. Awesome dude. And we had nothing going on really. We were thinking about going out for dinner and then meeting our friends down in Nashville, so we got going down the road. Well, now we got going down the road again just to find out that they were already in Nashville. They were bored and didn't have anything going on themselves. Keep in mind, you know, we're in our 20s. There's not much to do, especially, was it a Sunday night? Yeah, it was a Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah.
And we had to leave in the morning, so nothing better to do than go meet up with our buddies again. After a little bit of a detour, we drove all the way back up to where we were going, just about there, just to find out they weren't there, and we turned all the way back around. But it was awesome for some of the video we got. Just beautiful roads. There's nothing more fun than taking an old
There's
car.
not a straight line in Tennessee.
It's beautiful. Up here is all straight lines and boring. It's pretty good for drag racing, but that's about it.
Nashville Sunday night was crazy because there was almost nobody there. I mean, Saturday night it was probably, a couple million people on Broadway, and Sunday it was like it was dead. It's like someone called the party off. It was, every bar had a handful of people in it, but man, it was dead for Nashville. That was crazy to see a town transform in a night like that.
Totally different place. Nothing similar at all.
Yeah, like Saturday night they had Broadway closed because there were so many people walking across it. And Sunday night it was just cars driving around.
And part of the just cars driving around and endless, there was not that many people there on Sunday night. There was a ton on Saturday night. That's why the burnout we got to do was just off of Broadway because it was so packed, and I wanted to make a good pass for Sunday night, but there was hundreds of cops everywhere. Cop cars lined up on every street, all with nothing to do because no fights, no drunkards, no nothing was going on. It was dead, for at least for what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, well, and I don't think we got any footage of this, but while we were walking around, screwing around on Broadway, there was a guy with a 32 Ford Coupe that was like a rat rod setup, and he had died on Broadway, and so we went over there and we helped him, got it running again, and sent him on his way. Yeah, that was cool. And then there was that chromed out custom Peterbilt.
Oh yeah, a lot of really nice cars driving around, and some of those Carolina squat trucks that are just stupid, but it's hilarious. It's like the perfect setting.
It's
Broadway. It's the dumbest thing, but it's I can't imagine driving one of those. You're just sitting there staring at the stars.
Would that be the Carolina squat, or is that the Tennessee tilt?
That's a good point. I don't know if it changes with the area code. Any of you Tennesseans, let us know. so we ended up finishing up what we had to do there in Tennessee and decided to start heading our way back. It was getting late. We ended up catching some supper real quick, but other than that, we had to get going. We were sleeping on the floor, and we had another 13, 14 hours worth of driving the next day if everything went well, which the first time it didn't. So we were hoping for better on the way back. One problem we were having when we were still down in Nashville is that we ended up getting what we thought was a really bad lifter tick, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I was getting worried about it because, you know, we didn't have quite the materials to throw on a new camshaft. And I could probably find a 350 or maybe a 351 camshaft relatively easily. Anything for Chevy, of course, but with this car, there's not so much luck. So we ended up throwing in a quart of Lucas and trying to limp it the rest of the way home.
I told you this was gonna take a half hour.
Yup.
Or when World War II ended and BMW was like, better start making gay flags.
Volkswagen was like, alright, let's make cars, I guess.
Wind!
Damn you, Tyler, you're spilling all over the thing.
The wind, homie.
How much is left in the bottle?
Like a little less than half.
Well, Tyler said it was like half an hour ago.
Well, maybe if your valve covers didn't have baffles, we'd be done by now. Because, like, if you actually have valve covers that drain worth of you can just shove the bottle in there and then squeeze the out of the bottle. Like 90% of it's in one shot.
Yeah.
But no.
That's what I do with mine.
Dude, why have valves on it? What is it supposed to be a suppressor or something?
No, there's baffles in the valve covers because that way the oil splashes back down on the rockers.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
It's racing shit.
Yeah.
It's like the oil pan has well, I don't know if Tucker's does, but a racing oil pan has baffles in it so that like when you step on the gas, the oil can't get away from the pickup. Because on a stock pan, like if you either slam on the brakes or step on the gas, the oil all runs to the front or the back of the pan.
Makes sense.
And so, depending on where your pickup is, like on this, it's a rear sump. But you know, the oil can potentially run away from the pickup too.
Makes sense.
So it's your turn, homie. Finish the bottle off.
Okay. That's only fair. I really don't want to do this, but
So much left.
Damn it.
I was really hoping I wasn't gonna have to do it.
This is why I said that we should put the bottle on the dash and put the heat on high for like an hour.
Honestly, yeah.
Slow down, homie.
You know, we should just take this and put it in Henry's microwave. Come back.
You're not putting that shit in my microwave.
I actually
It blows
suggested
up.
that last night. I'm like, let's pour it into
I
a
thought
bowl,
about it.
Put it in Henry's microwave so that it gets thin.
If I had a radiator or something, you could put it on there.
Gotta go run to the barracks.
I need one of those nitrous bottle heaters just for Lucas.
Yeah. Actually, I have a jet boil, okay, and it might melt the bottle.
We could set it on the coffee pot. It's a hot plate.
It is.
It'll definitely melt the bottle, but whatever. It's okay, your coffee pot needs lubrication.
So fucking
Yeah, if there's one thing my coffee pot needs, it's zinc.
I like how it's just doing squigglies.
Yeah.
You see this shit, guys? It's pretty great.
How many guys does it take to put a bottle of Lucas in a motor? 4.
Oh, has Thomas had his turn yet?
We're going by union.
Nope. Thomas, you're getting kicked next. Hell no.
Yeah, we're going by union rules.
No,
One guy has to
Thomas
do
is
it, the three of us
spilling
has to fucking...
Dude, I will deliberately
Criticize.
spill all over if you guys make me do it. Hey, Thomas, you have to contribute, otherwise you're a bitch.
He's already about it and he hadn't even done it yet.
Damn.
Dude, my sciatic nerve is basically on fire.
My fucking back is
Dog, we've been sleeping on the ground for 3
All right, it's my house, damn it. I choose who sleeps where. Tucker, you're gonna overfall.
Oh, I haven't overfilled it at all. Get to the edge.
It's gonna be great when these zip ties break and we can't open the hood to fix the zip ties.
It's alright, I know roughly where they're at.
That's yeah, but you're gonna have to like crawl under and like reach your ass up.
Oh, dude, that'd be easy, real easy.
This is just supposed to be a rod, but the rod broke. So
I thought about stealing the rod out of the other car last night, but I'm like, nah, that's too much work.
Or just get a coat hanger.
Well, that's also a lot of work. I
You
don't
just
know.
open these fools' minds.
I actually did use a coat hanger on one of those rods. I used a couple of them here.
use coat hangers for door latch rods because like these Chevys have rods that run through the door for
Oh, yeah.
latches and everything, and they always break because they have these little plastic clips on the end.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah. That's stupid. That gold air filter is really nice.
Thank you. That's nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And like I said, Moroso doesn't make gold anymore. They still have red, blue, and black, but they don't make gold. And obviously chrome, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but everybody's got chrome on their motor.
Yeah.
I can find blue valve covers, which are pretty cool. They're like anodized blue.
That'd be pretty cool. You got the orange, the blue, and the gold.
I did overfill it just a hair.
It is pissing right now.
It is not pissing.
Pissing out the
And
side.
Tucker was the first one to overfill it.
That's not true. I heard Tyler did this earlier.
No, I
No,
got
Tyler,
a dot
Tyler got a dot off
because
on
the wind
side.
caught it.
Yeah.
I did not overfill it. I spilled it for a different reason.
I suppose
See,
I
the
really just,
overfill is a spill due to lack of skill.
I see the little bit of overfill, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't fucking care.
It's all right because in 13 years, when that spill reaches the header, it'll burn off.
13 years. That sounds about right.
It feels like it's coming out a lot faster. It's just not draining.
It's not.
There's just no drain.
Oh, making it over the curve. The spill is making it over the curve, ladies and gentlemen. We will update you next July when it makes it any further.
11:40. We walked out of the apartment at 11:40.
What time is it now?
11:42.
Oh shit.
Tucker's gonna be just on time for work tomorrow.
I really hope I'm home by 2 a.m. so I can leave at 5:30.
What I should do is call Travis.
Alright, T-Dog, you want to take over this? My back,
Nope.
my back is solid.
Which T-Dog? There's 3 people here with the...
You're T-Dog. You're Thomas the T-Dog train. Okay. Ow.
Yeah, on my sciatic nerve is basically like a Garrett wire just zipping across my back right now.
There. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, looks like he's got it.
Could any of the 4 of you imagine if you actually sat here for 45 minutes by yourself and did this?
That it would probably take like an hour and a half because I just keep taking breaks. Every like 10 minutes I'm like, ah, oh back.
I would have given up and put half a bomb in it. Here's a thought. You could have
honestly,
started the
any of
motor
them.
and let it get warm, then did this.
That's a hot idea.
Hindsight's 2020, I guess.
Thomas, that's probably
would have been a great idea 45 minutes ago.
Next time.
Ow. Touch the shit.
Coming, he's coming.
Alright, get back at you.
Thank you, sir.
Give me these.
Alright, so there's our Sniper EFI. Been doing this pretty good. We got 15 miles to the gallon with it. We're shooting a moon bow. No, we're heading back home now. Throwing some antifreeze or ATF in it. We got a pretty bad, well, a pretty consistently slow leak that takes like usually 2 quarts a day for driving it the whole day. So, but what do? You just drive it, fill it.
We can't play politics, we can't play politically correct with a group of criminals that's trying to kill us. So yeah, to the extent that Joe Rogan is reaching ostensibly millions of people a day or hundreds of millions, whatever they claim to be reaching, that stands, there's a lot of work to be done to get these people to the doorstep of accountability and dragged before a Nuremberg tribunal and
Not a morning person, but Echo definitely helps him wake up.
We know we're under attack!
Alexa, alarm off. Alexa, give me my flash news briefing.
We've got a bunch of inbred crazy people that for like 1,400 years have been invading the whole planet and...
What did the dog say after a long day of work?
What?
Today was rough.
Absolutely pathetic, ladies and gentlemen.
Alexa, tell me another joke.
I'm not a basketball player, but I do bounce heads off the ground.
Dad, how do you spell cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe. C-A-N-T... Alexa, how do you spell cantaloupe?
What are you growling at me for? You think I'm food? I'm not your food! Get that through your stinking narcotics trafficking head! Excuse me! Excuse me! I break free of your mind control, filth!
With everything Echo can do, it's really become part of the family.
We're never stopping! Hell or high water! We're going over the top, and you're never gonna stop us! Do you understand that? I'm just here to tell you, we can see you. Miles and miles and miles.
We froze our nuts off once we hit Iowa. It was cold as shit.
We were running the car at about 3,000 RPM the whole way back because we thought we had found a sweet spot in the cam where it wasn't wearing so hard. In reality, I think we were just running enough pressure that it made it through the gap in time before it leaked out and sounded like a lifter tick. But either way, it kind of fixed our problem until we got about halfway through Iowa, and we were also running pretty far behind. So we wanted to catch up a little bit of time. I had to be at work at 5:30, or I had to wake up for work at 5:30 the now same day because it was around midnight when we were having these problems. We're sitting there in the car freezing our nuts off and thinking about or listening to this lifter tick. I had decided that I wanted to have fix-it parts ready to go as soon as I ended up getting back home. So I had bought a cam in the passenger seat.
Yeah, until finally we stop and I'm like, well, I'm going to pull a spark plug and see if it's, if we really do have that cylinder misfiring. So I pulled the spark plug and that cylinder looks like it'd been firing just fine. And finally I look in at the spark plug that I pulled out and the header bolts were all loose. The driver's side header was about to fall off of the car because all the bolts were loose. That was our noise. It was just an exhaust leak. So we found some random bolts laying around and got it bolted back on, and then it was fine. Yeah, and you got to remember, we're driving back into Minnesota heading toward a snowstorm.
Yeah, it was a close call. As soon as we got back, basically I got to go to sleep for about 2 hours, and then it started snowing down super heavy. And before I even woke up at 5:30, there was already a couple inches of snow on the ground, and it was going to come down really fast. So we had to make sure we were back in time to make sure we got ourselves out of that storm, because if we got caught in it, not so worried about getting home, but the amount of salt we would have sprayed on this car, especially if the state of Minnesota would have pre-salted, would have ruined this car extremely fast. That was one of my biggest concerns of driving this in the beginning of February, is I just didn't want to ruin it for me down the line when I ended up doing more work to this car later.
So then we both got up 2 hours later and went and drove in the snowstorm, but with trucks. And that's a wrap, yo.
Thank you for watching. We've had a lot of fun on part 4, 3, 2, and 1 of Broadway Bound. We're really excited to see what our next projects end up becoming. Obviously, I'm going to throw a cam and some gear in this car now, but there's a whole lot more to come. We really appreciate you watching, especially if you watched all the way through. And we got a lot of projects ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got, sitting next to us, we've got 2 choppers that we're going to build. Not sure so much on how we're going to throw that into the screen time, but, you know, they might make an appearance or 2. But other than that, we've got 66 Ford Galaxy LTD.
66. The only thing the Galaxy really needs is I want to hop it up. But at the same time, for right now, like, half my brain says, put more power into the Galaxy. Put a locker in it, you know, or a posi. You know, put a 4-barrel on it, put a camshaft in it, put some different heads on it, put some headers on it. And then the other half of my brain is, it's a running, driving car. You have other shit boxes that don't run or drive. Fix those first, leave the thing alone, and then, you know, maybe when everything runs and drives, then you can hop it up a little bit. But no. That's not how it works around here. You tear apart the reliable vehicle to make it less reliable.
Got some old Chevys, got some crap. I've got another 77 Aspen that's just a baby, and I probably won't do anything to it, but it's still nice that I might make an appearance here and there.
64 Falcon, 66 Galaxy, 68 Mustang, 70 F100 that needs a motor, a 73 Highboy that needs a rear end. I've got a 77 1-ton that needs everything and hasn't had brakes in 5 years, but I still drive it. You know, I mean, you don't need brakes if it's a 4-speed. I got to fix up my 77 F100. That's my daily driver. Be nice to have some heat, or, you know, maybe 4-wheel drive once in a while.
I'll be slapping together a 1994 and a half Ford F350. We'll be putting body panels onto it, and I'll probably end up doing an entire interior dismantle, switch out some body mounts, slap it all back together with new sheet metal, and then I'll be repainting the whole truck at some point this year too.
That's the way. Because as gearheads, all we aspire to do is to make our shitboxes less reliable at the chance of being faster.
Yep. I want to get to work a whole lot faster after I break down the 3rd time. Stick around if you want to see extremely rotted out 1966, I believe, Ford Mustang get turned into 68 Mustang get turned into a daily driver while looking absolutely against the law. The 1964 Ford Falcon, if you stick around, you'll be seeing that get a Ford 460 with a tunnel ram.
With a 4-speed and a 9-inch, and hopefully in the near future here, a roll cage.
Roll cage is soon to come. We've already got that planned out. A lot of money, and we're hoping to make a pass with that this year somewhere at a dragster, probably in Thunder Valley in South Dakota.
That's probably end up being a street, but hey, we'll see.
We'll see what we can end up doing. If you want to support our channel, there will be ways in the future, but for now, just hit the like and subscribe button.
Like and subscribe. Comments are always appreciated. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. Tell us we're idiots. Tell us you learned something. Whatever you got to say, I hope you got something out of that. Thank you.